Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope that you are all good. In today's video I have another Charlie's Nail Art collaboration, and this week's theme was flamingos. So this was the set I came up with. As you can see, I've already got my tips and a clear base applied to my Glamerliz practice hand, so we're going to jump straight into the design. Now today's design is quite a salon friendly, salon length set of acrylic nails, however I hope they are still fun to watch. So to begin with, I'm going to come in with a white acrylic. This particular one is CJP Coconut, and I find this slightly easier to work with than the CJP Snow White. However, it is a little bit softer than Snow White, but for this particular design it didn't really matter having that softer white background. Now in this design, the middle finger and the ring finger are going to be full white nails with the water decals on top. Now because coconut milk is a core powder, it doesn't need to be encapsulated, so I'm going to build up all of my strength and structure with this colour rather than painting it on thin and then encapsulating. Now on this particular day that I was doing this set, the weather was really hot outside, and when the weather is hot your acrylic sets a lot quicker. So to counteract that, I was trying to work a little bit wetter, but it did make the product a little bit too sticky. So that's why my application here of the coconut milk isn't the best. I am not going to complain though, because it has been absolutely amazing having this gorgeous hot weather here in the UK. I hope wherever you are, you have had some lovely sunshine as well, and that you've got to get out and enjoy it. Now I'm just going to finish off this nail and I will talk you through my application process on the ring finger, because I'm pretty much finished this nail now. But as you can see, I'm just trying to keep my application as neat as I can, especially around the sidewalls and the free edge of the nail, just so that then I have minimal filing to do. But because my application wasn't perfect, the acrylic was a little bit bumpy and uneven, but that's nothing that your file can't fix later on. So on to the ring finger, I'm placing a medium size bead down at that cuticle area. I'm tilting the finger downwards as I tap the acrylic up into place. As you can see, I'm using the very tip of my brush to get it as close to the cuticle as I can. Now the cuticles are looking a little bit messy on my Glamerliz hand. I've had her a very long time and she gets a lot of use, so I do just need to try and fix them up a little bit so they look a little bit tidier. But then as you can see, I'm just blending that colour down ever so slightly. I'm leaving the bulk of it where I've placed it on the nail, because like I said, this is a core powder, so we're building up our strength. So I'm building up my apex here, so I don't want to pull too much of the acrylic down the nail. Then I'm coming in with my next bead of acrylic and just working my way down the nail, patting and pulling it into place. It didn't blend into that previous bead of acrylic too well, but it doesn't matter because I do come in with another bead to fix that up and to build up my apex area a little bit more anyway. Now this bead, when I placed it down at the very tip of the nail, as you see, I blended it back so it transitioned into that previous bead of acrylic nicely, just so there's not too much unevenness. And then I'm just patting and pressing it into place. As you can see, I'm using my brush at the free edge and the sidewalls a lot, just to keep that product where I want it to be without ending up with too bulky sidewalls. Then I'm going to come in with another small bead just to neaten up and fix up that apex area a little bit. And as you can see, that really smoothed out the product and just made it look a lot nicer and removed some of that shadowing between the beads of acrylic. Now that's our white nails done, I'm going to move on to the pointer finger, and I'm coming in with this pretty pink colour from Wowbao. This one's called Girlie, and I'm just popping a wash of this down at the cuticle area because this is just going to be a base for some glitters. Now I wanted the tip of my nail to be a marble, so once I'd got that Girlie applied, I'm coming in with wet beads of Flamingo, Girlie, and then the CJP coconut milk. I don't normally mix brands, but I didn't have a white colour from Wowbao, and lately I've kind of just ended up mixing brands, even though it's not something I normally would do, just because I've got lots of colours from Wowbao and lots of colours from CJP, and I'm wanting to use certain ones and not having core colours that match them and things like that. So I do just need to go through my kit and order what I need from those particular brands, because whenever I'm doing a video or a set of nails, I do ideally like to use just one brand. So as you can see, I'm placing those wet beads of acrylic down and just marbling them together. I wanted this to be quite a subtle marble because the colours are quite similar, but I thought it looked quite pretty. And as you see, I've blended that marble back slightly just so that there's not a harsh ridge between the acrylics. Then I'm coming in with this gorgeous glitter. This is called Unicorn Strands from Charlie's Nail Art, and I've just picked this up with a wet bead of clear acrylic, and I want to apply it all over that girly acrylic that we applied at the beginning of this nail, and then fade it over that marble ever so slightly. So as you can see, I'm just using my brush to do this, and I'm keeping my brush quite wet with the monomer so that I'm able to move those pieces of glitter around. Then just using my wet brush, I'm picking up small beads or small particles of the glitter and just placing it down just to build up the coverage and to bring it down the fade a little bit more. Moving on to the baby finger, I'm just going to do a full nail of the Flamingo because I loved this colour and I wanted this set to be quite simple and salon friendly. So seeing as we're going to be doing artwork on the first 3 nails, I thought we would leave the baby finger plain, because if I was doing this set on myself, I would do the baby finger and the thumb just plain full flamingo nails, because then it's just a bit quicker and keeps the set nice and simple, but then you've got some artwork on the other nails. Now, because the Wowbao colours are design powders, they do need to be encapsulated, so I'm painting on quite a thin layer of colour and then I'm going to encapsulate it in my clear acrylic. I did accidentally pick up some glitter pieces, so I did just have to remove them. Just blending that colour out so that there's a nice even layer. This colour is highly pigmented, so a little bit does go a long way. So when I'm working with it, I like to just work in small beads. Now, the core system that I was using here was my CJP. I'd done my clear base with my CJP crystal glass, and the coconut milk was a core colour from CJP. So I decided to encapsulate in CJP as well, just so then technically the colour powders that I'd used from Wowbao are sandwiched between 2 layers of my CJP acrylics. So I'm just coming in with CJP crystal glass and I'm just going to encapsulate the entire nail. So when you see I'm working in that cuticle zone, I'm always tilting the finger downwards just so it doesn't run back and flood the cuticles, leaving the bulk of that product there in that back third because we're building up our apex on this nail. Now, these nails are quite short, so you don't need a huge apex. You just want a little bit there just to help with your strength and structure. You also need to make sure that all of those glitter pieces and marble are encapsulated because you don't want to ruin the design when it comes to filing. So I'm going to do exactly the same and encapsulate the baby finger. So I've started off with a bead roughly halfway down the nail to encapsulate the tip of the nail. Then I'm coming in with my cuticle and apex bead. So I'm placing that down, pushing it up towards the cuticle, leaving the bulk of it there in that back third and just blending that top of the bead of acrylic down. Trying my best to get a nice neat cuticle here, but I had a little chunk of something stuck in my clear acrylic. You'll see I'm always lightly brushing my brush over the acrylic, and it is a really light touch just to help smooth that acrylic out without moving it around too much. I didn't need to encapsulate the white nails, so I then went off camera and done all of my filing, buffing, all of that jazz, and we're ready to then come in and apply our water decals. So these are also from Charlie's Nail Art as well. However, I purchased these over a year ago, so I'm not 100% sure if they are still available, but I know she does have a new range of lots of new decals basically up on the website. So do check them out because I know she has some amazing flamingo decals up at the moment. So these little pack of decals, they come with flamingos and some palm trees. So I thought I would add a little palm tree in to the design as well. And I'm going to do exactly the same on both nails because like I said, we was keeping this quite a simple salon friendly design. Now when it comes to applying water decals, you simply need to cut them out and then soak them in some room temperature water for around 10-20 seconds, and then you'll see that they peel off really easy from the backing paper. And then I like to place them on the nail using some tweezers, and I'll then just come in with my silicone tool to move that water decal around into place and just to get out any creases or bubbles that might be in it. It's a lot easier when you are working with small designs like this. These are quite easy to apply, they're really quick and simple. but just having that silicone tool to help really press them down onto the nail and smooth out any creases really does help, because if you have any creases in your water decals, you then end up top coating over and ending up with a bumpy finish. As you see there, I did end up pulling my palm tree off, which wasn't too bad of a problem because I did want to move it around slightly anyway. And that's one of the fab things about water decals, you get plenty of playtime with them. I then did allow those to dry and set in place for a few minutes, and then once I was ready, I come in and top coated. So I decided I would top coat today with my CJP Tack Free Top Gloss. So I'm just going to apply a nice thin layer of this to all of the nails. When it comes to top coating over the water decals, I like to float my top coat over them ever so slightly rather than brushing it on, just so you don't move them out of place if they haven't fully dried. But as you can see here, I'm brushing over these decals and they're not moving around or anything because I allowed them that few minutes to dry. They have set in place. Now, another thing I wanted to say is if I'm doing water decals on myself, or if I was to do them on a client, I would usually double top coat just to fully seal them in, or I would use my Kiki London rubber top coat because that is a little bit thicker. So I find that fab for sealing in any kind of nail art. But I had my CJP top coat to hand, so I just thought I would use that today. And then that, guys, is pretty much the end of the video. Once I've applied the top coat, I'll pop them in to cure for 60 seconds. I really hope you're all doing okay and keeping safe and well and enjoying the lovely sunshine. Now, if you do have any video suggestions or requests, please do pop them in the comments below and I shall give them a go. But I hope you all enjoyed watching this video, and I shall hopefully see you all again in the next one. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Lots of love, take care, bye bye.